Good morning, my friends. It is time once again for you and I to join together to align our minds with the truth of God. And sometimes to do that, we've got to push away other things that are not aligned with the truth of God. So do a self-check real quickly. Think about what is on your mind, what is on your heart right now. What are the things burdening you? And I want to encourage you to take a deep breath, stop for a moment, and set those things to the side. I'm not saying they're not important. I'm just saying right now you have a different priority. Your job is to put your focus on the God who can help you with those things, on the God who cares deeply about those things. Your job is to rest and remind yourself who He is. We're going to do that today using Psalm chapter 124. Listen to these words. This is an Israelite, an ancient Israelite, David, writing about these things. So listen from his perspective to how he did this in his worship. If it had not been the Lord who was on our side, let Israel now say, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side when people rose up against us, then they would have swallowed us up alive when their anger was kindled against us. Then the flood would have swept us away. The torrent would have gone over us. Then over us would have gone the raging waters. Blessed be the Lord, who has not given us as prey to their teeth. We have escaped like a bird from the snare of the fowlers. The snare is broken and we have escaped. Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth. I love what David does in this psalm. He counts his blessings. He goes back and he looks at the Lord's deliverance from the past. When I was growing up in an old fundamental Baptist church, there was a song that we sang fairly often called Count Your Blessings. And the chorus of it said, count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings and see what God has done. Count your many blessings and see what God has done, is how the chorus wraps up. I think there is a great bit of wisdom in that counsel. When we're able to stop, especially in those times when we're feeling attacked or needy or under duress of some sort, and we are able to look back at God's track record, so to speak. Look at the ways He has blessed us in the past, the ways He's delivered, the things He's done. Then we're able to reset our mind in the present and say to ourselves, preach to ourselves, as I've said quite often, the faithfulness of our God. That's exactly what David does here. He says, if it had not been the Lord who was on our side, I mean, he's thinking of a worst case scenario. What would have happened if God hadn't intervened? Look back in your past. Look at the ways that God has provided for you and cared for you in the history of your life. And ask yourself the same question. What would have happened if God hadn't stepped in at that particular moment? But my mind just spins. I think of all the different ways when my wife was having heart issues, when my middle daughter broke her back, when we were in financial straits, when I didn't have a job, when all kinds of difficult circumstances came up. What would have happened if God had not stepped in? And now turn that realization to the present and realize even in the situations we face right now, as difficult as they be, as much stress as they cause, God is here and He will step in at the appropriate time. He is our faithful God because our help is in the name of the Lord who made heaven and earth. It's not outside His control. It's not outside His ability. He is the one who will step in, and we can rest in that fact. My friends, I hope you're able to do that today. I hope as you look forward to the events of your day, as stressful as they may be, that you don't go back over to that pile of cares and pick it up yourself. Let the Lord carry it. Let the Lord be your comfort and your provision and your help today. Thanks for listening to The Morning Mindset. Join me again tomorrow as we continue in the Psalms.